This new spam and phishing risk that we're going to be introducing will be found in the risks tab of the Cloud Monitor platform. So just like you're used to other risk scans, if you're familiar with a cloud platform where we look for things like social security numbers or credit card numbers, of course, we have aspects where we look for things like student safety, but the risk section is our DLP scanning engine. It's what's going out and doing that heavy lifting. It's looking at things within the environment for areas of concern. And in this case, with the spam phishing, it's focusing on Gmail, it's focusing on Outlook, and it's specifically going to be looking at those emails initially coming in from the outside that are going to your staff users there. So I've generated a couple different examples here today. Some of them are rather simple and kind of ones you might be familiar with, some of them not as common to see anymore. But if I go ahead and click on the name of any of these here, it's going to go ahead and pull up the relevant details here. So I get always the email subject line. I get, hey, this is where this risk was found. I get the sender details here. I get who the recipients were. Again, basic information about the email, but really importantly, I get this spam and phishing, and I get reasoning as to why this got flagged in the first place here. I'm actually going to go ahead and zoom in just a little bit here so it's a little bit easier to read. So here we can see, hey, this email contains an urgent request for gift cards. It's a common phishing tactic. Hey, this sender's domain is not the same as this internal domain as well. So might indicate a potential impersonation here. And you can see it's 95% confident that this was phishing. So right from here, I can respond to that. I could say, okay, I want to go ahead and remove that email from the user's inbox and trash it. So I click the quarantine button here, go ahead and take that action for me. If I decide, you know what, I'm very confident with this. This definitely looks like phishing. I could also click the delete option here. That's just going to go ahead and outright delete this email from the domain entirely. Going to be completely gone for the end user. They're not going to have access to it anymore. Of course, if there was something that was a mistake, I could ignore it. Again, these models are going to be doing as best as possible to try to detect things, but again, there can sometimes be incorrect flags, things like that. So there is an option to ignore something if necessary as well. Also can share high-level details to somebody else. So if I need to communicate to other folks on my team and let them know, hey, there's a problem or an issue here, can certainly do that as well. There's also a download button here, which would allow me to download a local copy of that email for further review if I need it as well. So that's an example of kind of a common one, those gift cards sorts of things that we used to see quite a lot back in the day there. But we also get more recent ones. So this is an example of one that we actually got internally here to our company, where someone was trying to impersonate our CFO and try to get a complete list of our customers and vendors and all their email addresses. So this is one of those business compromise email attempts that David was talking about. These things are certainly a lot more difficult to detect. So this is something that, definitely we want to make sure the model does a good job of detecting, just like this. And it gives a nice explanation. So right away, okay, this is why it went ahead and flagged that. That makes total sense there. I can then go ahead and take those actions as I need to. Another common example would be DocuSign here as well. This is something that we see, unfortunately, quite often as well, where we'll get these fake DocuSign emails as well. So kind of similar idea here. So we can see here, hey, look, it's impersonating a DocuSign. We've got a mismatched sender domain here, and it urges you to review and sign a document, something that would be concerning there. So it's designed to make this really simple for you to take a look at the email, make a determination, and move on. Now, the nice thing is we can, of course, automate that, and I'll show that in just a moment here as well. But really where you're going to be responding to this is on the risk side, because the other thing you can do that's really nice as well, come up here to the top, I can click the checkmark box. I can also take bulk action. So I can move all these to the trash here in one click. I can also go ahead and outright delete these all in one click if I need to. So pretty simple here. You can do that up to 500 at a time there, but makes it really simple to respond to these quickly, take a look at what's going on, and make that determination. So then this phishing risk will also be accessible via the Gmail tab there, as it makes me sign back in here. Again, good to have that security to sign you out. So here we get an example of things within the Gmail tab. So if I come over here and click on emails with phishing, it's going to go ahead and pull up all those emails that have been identified as phishing. So this is another avenue I can access this from. And then if I need to, I could come in and do a mass search for these emails across the domain. Or if I say, okay, I now know who this sender is, I want to keep an eye out if anyone else got any other kinds of emails from this sender, I can go ahead and do so. We've got a very powerful live search feature. This is available on Google and Microsoft, allows for a live API call throughout the domain if I want to respond to something that way as well. But the goal is to have these sorts of things flagged just like this. So if we click into something again, it gives me that explanation right from here. I can, of course, click into this as well to respond from here, see why it's getting flagged. I can pull down the header information from here as well, too, if I want to get more detailed header information to get an idea of what's going on there as well. And then I can go through, of course, and take those deletion or quarantine actions quite quickly as well. So this is a way, again, you can respond from here as well. And then if you're just in Cloud Monitor itself, even on the Accounts tab will show if there's potential phishing emails. So on the right-hand side here, we've got this Accounts with Issues. I can click on this 5 phishing number here. I come down and I see, okay, hey, this user here has 262 different emails and files here. And I can see here at the bottom, I've got some ones with email content here. Email URL is another phishing scan that we have running that's looking for URL-based phishing scans. We primarily use PhishTank for that. Email content will be the new phishing scan here. And then we can click on that received emails. It's going to take me right over to that Gmail tab. I'm able to see the emails that this particular user got directly. Again, do that same kind of response, see what's going on. So there's a number of ways you can approach taking actions on things as those sorts of notifications, as those sorts of issues come in. And then the last major component here will be via policy. So on the policy side here, I just need to change my view very briefly here. I can come in and I can also then set policy to have the platform take action automatically or let me know right away here. So start with here, I just go ahead and click on the Add Policy button. I can give the policy a name here. So I'll call this one phishing content here. I select a source. It'll be email in this case as my source type. And then I have that new risk scan here for spam and phishing. I'm going to specify in this case that it's coming in from the outside. That's initially what the spam and phishing risk will be looking for. And I simply click apply. So now my policy will be all the way here down at the bottom. And I'm ready to go ahead and I could potentially set up immediate email notifications. I can choose who's going to receive those alert notifications when the platform sees those violations coming out. I can even do a custom subject line. So I could say, hey, something like phishing alert, and I can have this little red icon here. So when I get this in my email, I know right away, hey, there's a phishing alert coming in. There's something of concern. Now, the next step I can also do is I can also have the platform take an automated action. So I could have, for example, the platform automatically quarantine these emails. So, and when the platform identifies them as potential phishing, it'll just immediately move them to the trash. The nice thing with the quarantine is if there is a mistake made, those quarantine emails can then be restored. There is an option to outright delete stuff as well. The thing with delete is once the platform completely deletes it, there's not a way for that content to be retrieved. So it is a complete deletion there. Definitely works great in those situations where it's something where you say, yep, I'm very confident I want this gone. But my recommendation to start off with is definitely the quarantine side. Another step you could also take is you could let your users know, hey, you received this phishing email. Here's what's going on. Here's why this was pulled from your inbox. You can give them a specific message as well, too, about that. So definitely another handy step as well. Potentially provide a little bit of user awareness as well too, with that kind of with those kinds of phishing incidents as they happen. So user knows, hey, you got something concerning here. Here's what's going on. And certainly, if they've got questions, they could be able to then reach out to you and give them kind of a more full description of what's going on with the incident there. But this is how you can set a policy. It's very easy to get those policies up and running there, and then from there, it's going to start looking for that kind of stuff, and it's going to start taking those actions as you specify. So. But that will be what we have on the phishing side there. So as David mentioned, it's going to have those 6 different points it's going to be looking for there. But really, that risks tab is going to be one of the main ways you'll be able to quickly dive into those specific issues, take those specific actions, and make the determination of, is this something of concern? Is this something we want to take automatic action with? So.